So, you want to know how to get higher. You've been practicing your moderation. You've been sipping before you're ripping. And now you're like, I got to take it to the next level and see how I can maximize what I'm getting and get the absolute highest. Well, I'm going to give you some of my real tips and things that I've learned over the years from smoking and dabbing a bunch. And I'm not just going to spit out some generic garbage like, oh, do blinkers and hold your hits in until you pass out. Eat a mango. You're going to get twice as high. I'm not going to give you the garbage tips. We're going to give you the good tips. Because, bro, mangoes don't do anything. I've probably eaten more mangoes than anybody watching. I live in Florida. I friggin' love mangoes. They do not make you higher. Maybe they make you higher, but you have to smoke so many mangoes. Anyway, so we all know about moderation, right? I have a few videos about tolerance fixes over tolerance breaks. I only do my smoking from 9 p.m. to about 1 a.m. Eastern live on Twitch. You should come join me. We're going to be doing dabs and bong rips. But I only smoke for about a 4-hour window. There's some exceptions. Saturdays, I might mix it up. But typically, most days, there's 20 hours in the day I didn't smoke and 4 hours that I did. That's my number one tip. You can't be high all day, all the time. But that's easy. That's the one we know. A great way, I think a lot of us know this and have experienced it, but there's different levels to it. Mixing up what you smoke. And that means mixing up the strains that you're getting, the smells that you're getting. Don't just keep getting a bunch of stuff that smells the same, but also mix up how you're smoking. Maybe do a little bit of dabbing if you don't dab a lot. Maybe try smoking some more flower if you've been dabbing mostly. Mixing it up, going back and forth between flower and concentrate is a great way to mix it up because the two highs are a bit different. And sometimes getting one of those highs after a while of not having it can be really great. So mixing up the device, if you're smoking out of the same bong every day, you might just get used to it. When things get super routine, you get super used to it. And then that element of mystery is gone. So switching up your strains will get you more different cannabinoids and terpenes. That's definitely going to impact your high. You want to get more full spectrum extracts. You want to get things that have more variety in what gets you high. If you're just out there trying to get the highest THC percent on everything, you're going to run into this problem. All the weed I get's 35% THC, but I'm just not getting as high as I... Try some 18% THC weed. Try something under 25%. Mix it up. But different types of hits. I mostly do cold start dabs off my e-rig and I do beaker bong hits. But I know when I switch my flower hits up to a straight tube, I'm getting different hits. If I switch the flower piece, I'm using... If I switch to a dry piece, I'm getting different types of hits. I'm hitting my pieces differently than that daily routine that I get into. Same with dabs. I do a lot of cold start dabs off my e-rig, 2 button clicks, and it gives me the same dab every time. But sometimes when I bust out the torch and the nail, I might have done the hit a little bit hotter or a little bit colder and just dragged the hit out a little bit longer. So mixing up strains, devices, and ways you're doing it is good. If you haven't done herb vapes in a while, or you haven't had edibles in a while, maybe mix that into your routine. Try some tinctures. Try out something you haven't done before. That's a good way to mix it up. Another great way, this is something that I found through creating content and just being a weirdo, is challenge yourself. Some of the highest times I've ever experienced was I gave myself a little bit of a challenge and then I tried to overcome or tried to complete the challenge and then I was so fucking high. A great example is if you saw my video where I did a speed run on smoking an eighth, I did it in about under 9 minutes. I smoked some really good weed. It was that Reddit weed that all the nerds like. I sat down, I just smoked flower. It was an eighth in under 9 minutes. But after I recorded that video, I probably sat on the couch for 2.5, 3 hours just watching King of the Hill. I was in the zone. And I've smoked an eighth many, many times before, but I'd never done it in under 9 minutes. And I think that was a huge contributing factor because that was one of the highest I've ever been. There was a challenge involved. I also used to do this other challenge. I had friends over and I had the e-nail going. I would take out a gram of dabs and then I would break it into 10 pieces. So there would be 10.1s. I actually did this one time with 2 or 3 grams and I had it all laid out in different 0.1 gram pieces. And every minute we had an order. I think there was 4 or 5 of us. Every minute somebody had to do a dab. And if it was your turn and you didn't do the dab, you were out. It was like minute dab elimination. So to start, you're doing a dab every 5 minutes if there's 5 people. But then as people get eliminated, you're doing a dab every 3 minutes, every 2 minutes. You're going back to back with somebody until one of you taps out. Doing challenges, it's a great way to burn through and waste a lot of weed, but you're going to get super fucking high. We would go through grams of concentrate doing this challenge. I never lost. I did mention mangoes earlier and how I really don't think those help you get higher. There are foods with terpenes in there and people will say, oh, if you eat this and you smoke this, you're going to get high. I haven't really noticed that. I've been smoking and eating a lot. But what I have noticed is when you eat, if you eat before your session, you're going to have a better time than if you try to get really high and then eat a fat meal. A lot of people say eating a big meal kills their high. You get really high and then you just keep eating and eating and eating. But most people, all that eating just kills the high. I've experienced it. I mean, you can always smoke again. Some people can't eat until they smoke a little bit. So maybe try to get the munchies, eat, and then try to get super high. I don't think mangoes really do it, but I do think having like fresh fruit, having like good healthy food makes you feel better in general. I think that makes you higher. If I just ate some pizza and some shit and then I eat, I might not feel as good as if I just ate some fruits and veggies or some Chipotle or something a little bit better. So when you eat, I think is really important. If you can eat a big meal and then smoke while your whole body's digesting, that weed is just going to help you relax. Another thing that I find that helps is mixing up where you smoke. We already talked about how you smoke and what you smoke, switching strains and devices. Switch the setting. Do it in a different place. Try an outdoor sesh if you mostly smoke indoors. Try an indoor sesh if you mostly smoke outdoors. Sometimes you just get so used to your surroundings that certain elements of the high might not show themselves. You're not going to get locked onto something random that you've never seen before if you're in a place that you've seen everything before, you know? I can recall being high, sitting outside, you just see like a squirrel or a bird or something, and you're just looking at it for like 20 minutes, and you're like, holy fuck. And then you realize, I've been looking at a squirrel for 20 minutes. I'm high as fuck. Sometimes mixing up what you're doing. Do an activity with your smoking. Play a certain game. Watch a certain show. Try something you haven't done before. Now, one of the greatest ways to get super high, this one probably involves the most work, but after workout smoke sessions are the best. After you've had a really intense workout, you just sweat a bunch, your blood's flowing, your heart's racing, and then you smoke, bruh, you are going to go to the moon. I used to be a personal trainer, and at one point I had a gym that was like 2 or 3 minutes away from my house that I worked at. I could literally like just ride my bike back and forth, go home, do a quick smoke sesh, ride back, run a class, or have a personal client. But sometimes I'd smoke before my workouts to get in the zone, and then try to smoke after. That after workout hit is a little bit more mild because I smoked before. But when I found if I smoke after I work out and I didn't smoke before, that was some of the highest highs I've ever experienced. You have the most intense workout in your life. You're barely being able to breathe. It takes you 5 minutes to catch your breath at the end of it. By the time you finally catch your breath, you put smoke in those lungs, you're going to get fucking high, dude. So I don't work out as much anymore. I'm trying to mix it back into my daily routine. We've been doing these daily videos, and then I do the nightly live streams on Twitch, obviously. But I need to mix in some more workouts. I want to see if I can do a workout before my streams at night. So that way I'm kind of coming down from the workout, and I could just get super blasted on my lives. And my last and final tip, I know we just talked about the healthier option of working out and then smoking after your workout. Great way to get your protein shakes down, by the way. Rip a bong, get some nice stretches in, drink your protein shake. Great way to do it. But a step away from the healthier side of doing things, like eating fruits and veggies and working out to get higher, get CrossFaded. Mix it up with some fucking alcohol. Alcohol is the worst. Alcohol can kill you. Don't do a lot. I really only drink on Fridays and Sundays, sometimes on Saturdays. I really don't do a lot. And I think this helps me to get more lit when I do. Fridays on my Twitch stream at around 9 p.m. I think I wait a little bit, maybe 10 or so to actually crack the cold one, eh? Because I feel, same with my smoking, I feel like the shorter window in which I drink, the more lit I get. So instead of spacing it out over my 4-hour stream, maybe I'll do it for 3 hours out of the 4-hour stream, because I like to get really lit on Fridays. There's this balance too, where if you're really high, you might only need one drink to get crossfaded or get really lit. And the opposite is true. If you're really drunk, one bong hit might be all you need. One puff of a joint might be all you need to experience a good level of crossfaded. So my preferred drink is ciders. I like hard ciders. Sometimes we mix it up with beer here and there, but I like cider. So if you want to get crossfaded with me tonight, join me on Twitch after 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to have some ciders, some bong rips, some dabs ready to go. And link your Amazon Prime so you can give me Jeff Bezos weed money. You can subscribe on Twitch for free with Amazon Prime. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And if you want to learn how to take bigger rips, this is one way to get higher. Check out this video right here. It's got my basic tips for taking bigger hits. Later, my dudes.